Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome to GMA 24 Update News Channel. Hope you will enjoy our news video. Before we begins, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Here is the news title. GMB viewers furiously switch off as they fume. ITV show is a joke. Good Morning Britain viewers vowed to stop watching The Breakfast Show for good after slamming ITV's carbon footprint. Good Morning Britain viewers switched off the ITV show en masse after Andy Peters flew out to Cape Town in South Africa to promote its latest competition. The segment proved majorly controversial, with fans of the show fuming over its carbon footprint and slamming it as a waste. They immediately took to X to share their fury, with one writing, "Any particular reason why Andy Peters has to travel 6,009 miles to Cape Town to flog us a competition? His carbon footprint must be insane and totally unacceptable and unnecessary. You never see him on anything other than Good Morning Britain." Another viewer added, "So Andy has now been sent to fucking South Africa? Why do they feel it's what the viewers want to see? Money being spunked on his travel costs just so he can flog a competition. Not only that, but his carbon footprint must be colossal, which makes it a joke when GMB claim to care." Someone else said they've stopped watching entirely, writing, "GMB's standards have fallen dreadfully. It's more like GB News now, which is why I've stopped watching." Another viewer pointed out, "IGMB, now your silly competition that the vast majority of people lose is now being pushed from South Africa. What's your accumulated carbon footprint?" After fuming last week, IGMB, your presenter mentions net zero, then cuts to your daft lottery presented from the Maldives. Couldn't make it up. Later in the show, entertainment correspondent Richard Arnold appeared to talk about the Grammy Awards, with presenter Ed Balls admitting he found Bianca Censori's see-through ensemble upsetting. Richard commented on the deeply unsettling moment that Kanye West showed his wife off, begging, "Where is the power?" Bianca showed up in a fur coat that she took off on the red carpet to reveal a completely see-through dress, more of a body stocking, that barely skimmed her thighs. It gave her the illusion of being totally naked at the ceremony and proved hugely controversial against Good Morning Britain. GMB, following Andy Peters' trip to South Africa, highlights several key issues that resonate with modern audiences, including concerns over climate change, perceived hypocrisy, and frustration with Mainao, the show's overall direction. Below is an analysis of why viewers reacted so strongly. Carbon footprint and environmental concerns. Many viewers were angered by the decision to send Andy Peters 6,000 plus miles to Cape Town to promote a competition, citing the carbon emissions from long-haul flights. The outrage stems from perceived hypocrisy. GMB often covers climate change issues and net zero policies, yet sends presenters on high-emission trips. Unnecessary travel. The competition could have been promoted from the UK, making the trip seem like an extravagant, wasteful choice. Lack of alignment with public sentiment. Many viewers are becoming more eco-conscious, and media organizations face increasing scrutiny over their environmental impact. Similar criticism arose previously when GMB hosted a segment from the Maldives, making this a repeated issue that damages credibility. Financial waste and audience. Disconnect viewers also took issue with the cost of sending a presenter abroad for what they saw as a trivial reason. Cost versus value. The competition segment likely involved expensive flights, accommodation, and production costs, which some feel could have been better spent elsewhere. Lack of audience engagement. Many see these segments as filler content that doesn't add value to the show, which has led to comparisons with GB News, a network often criticized for its editorial choices. This aligns with broader criticism that mainstream morning TV has become less about serious journalism and more about light entertainment. The decline of GMB's standard. Some former viewers claimed they've stopped watching entirely due to what they perceive as declining quality. Lack of journalistic integrity. Compared to its previous reputation for hard-hitting interviews, especially during the Piers Morgan era, the show is now seen as more frivolous. Sensationalism over substance. Instead of covering pressing issues in depth, Segments like celebrity fashion controversies, e.g., Bianca Censori's dress, dominate the show. This suggests that a portion of the audience wants more serious content and sees the show's current direction as trivial or even insulting to their intelligence. Viewer cynicism and media distrust. Growing portion of the public is skeptical of media narratives and marketing tactics. The criticism of GMB's silly competition reflects a deeper frustration. Lottery-style contests are seen as exploitative. They often have low chances of winning, yet are heavily promoted as if they're accessible to all. Lack of authenticity. Viewers feel they are being sold a lifestyle rather than given valuable news coverage. By choosing luxury locations for competition segments, GMB alienates viewers who might be struggling with real-life financial issues. Final thoughts. A larger trend. In media backlash, this controversy highlights a broader issue. Mainstream media is increasingly at odds with audience expectations. As people demand more transparency, environmental accountability, and substantive reporting, frivolous spending and flashy marketing gimmicks are scrutinized more than ever. The strong reaction suggests that GMB needs to rethink its approach, especially if it wants to retain viewers who care about integrity, climate responsibility, and meaningful journalism. Channel 4's divisive new series, Go Back to Where You Came From. Channel 4's Go Back to Where You Came From sees a group of 6 Brits with strong opinions on immigration attempt migrant routes for themselves. A controversial new Channel 4 series set to challenge perceptions on immigration and asylum seekers premieres tonight, February 3rd. The 4-part series, called Go Back to Where You Came From, will immerse 6 Britons with strong views on immigration into the lives of refugees and migrants. The group, including a TikToker and GB News commentator, will start their journey in Mogadishu in Somalia and Raqqa in Syria, before traversing perilous migrant routes through Africa, the Middle East, and Europe to the UK. The series synopsis reads, The show will immerse an opinionated group of 6 Brits, with views across the immigration argument, in the reality of the perilous journeys refugees and migrants make to the UK. Starting on our UK borders, our contributors will first travel to the homelands that refugees are so desperate to leave. Despite Amnesty International claiming the series is insensitive, Channel 4 has defended the bold show, noting that its Australian counterpart is now part of the national curriculum there. As we await the reaction of UK audiences, let's meet the cast. The chef-turned-TikTok sensation, originally from Nottingham, attributes his anti-illegal immigration stance to his mother's work at the Citizens Advice Bureau. Dave confessed that he didn't own a passport until he was 30, making his appearance on the Channel 4 show one of his rare overseas trips, reports The Mirror. Initially skeptical about the Channel 4 series, he saw it as an opportunity to chance, for me to see the other side of things, to see where these people come from and how they live. So for me it was to learn. Chloe Dobbs, a 24-year-old regular on GB News, and she also runs a paddleboarding business. An Oxford University graduate with a degree in politics, philosophy, and economics, she expressed shock at the level of poverty in Syria. We were in the Kurdish part, north of Syria. In that area, it seemed like it was relatively safe for civilians, but people were still fleeing because the poverty was off the scale, she said. Nathan Remington, a 32-year-old Hollage business owner and father of one, said his experience on the show left him outraged. Reflecting on his own life after witnessing the living conditions of children in Mogadishu, he said, "My son's biggest worry is whether he's got enough coins to buy stuff in his games." Jess is a sports coach who lives in Carmarthenshire, Wales. She was recently involved in a protest against a hotel at Strady Park Hotel in Llanelli, which had been set to be turned into housing for asylum seekers. Mathilda Mallinson, 29, podcaster. Turning to London, Matilda Mallinson, 29, not only carves out a space in the podcasting world, but also devotes her time to volunteering at refugee camps, pivoting her life between journalism and humanitarian aid. Bushra Shaikh, aged 42, isn't new to the limelight, having appeared on BBC's The Apprentice back in 2017 with her modest clothing brand. She is also a socio-political commentator and her parents are first-generation immigrants from Pakistan. She reflected, "I learned that there's a lot of ignorance in the world, most of which stems from lack of education and resources. We need to learn from each other. Before I began the journey, I assumed most people would know about Islam, but they don't. It showed me that we all need to take a step back and try to understand where others are coming from." Channel 4's senior commissioning editors, Anna Morales and Madonna Benjamin, expressed their expectations for the new series, stating, "This is an extremely bold commission that continues to reinforce the channel's commitment to tackle difficult and highly relevant subject matter. It is hoped that this will offer up an opportunity for the British public to help understand some of the terrifying perils asylum seekers face when they attempt to travel to the UK. The adaptation of this multi-award, winning Australian format will be thoughtful and impactful, and is likely to create an intense debate about an issue that Britain has grappled with for decades." So, what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comment below. If you like my video, please press like button and subscribe for more. Hope I'll see you in next video.